Consciousness Only. The 30 Verses on Consciousness Only by Vajrabandhu. The Treatise in 20 Verses on Consciousness Only by Vajrabandhu. Translated from the Chinese of Suan Sang by Francis H. Cook. Buddhist Translation and Research 1999. Chapter 2. The Evolutions of Consciousness. Though the forms of the evolutions of consciousness are many, the consciousness that evolves is of three kinds. The first is called retribution of different results, vipaka, that is, the eighth consciousness, so called because its nature is that of many different results. The second is called thought, that is, the seventh consciousness, manas, because it constantly judges and thinks. The third is called perception of the external realm, that is, the first six consciousnesses, because the objects that they perceive are gross. The word "and" shows that the first six consciousnesses form a single form of consciousness. These three together are called the consciousness that transforms. It is of two kinds.
The first is transformation as cause, that is, the two causal habit energies, vasana, of the eighth consciousness, habit energy of similar species, nisyandavasana, and habit energy of retribution, vipakavasana. Habit energy of similar species is produced and made to grow by good, bad, and indeterminate perfuming influences in the first seven forms of consciousness. Habit energy of retribution is produced and made to grow by impure good and bad perfuming in the first six forms of consciousness.
The second kind, transformation as result, phala, means that as a result of the power of the above two forms of causal energy, the eight forms of consciousness are born and exhibit their various characteristics. Because habit energy of similar species is the cause, the substance and characteristics of the eight forms of consciousness are born in their diversity. The name result of similar species, nisyanda phala, derives from the fact that the result is similar to the cause. Habit energy of retribution is the dominant condition adhipati pratyaya. It is called a retribution because of its power to influence the eighth consciousness to repay karma leading to a specific form of rebirth, oksipaka karma, from past lives, and because it exists as a continuous series. It also stirs the first six forms of consciousness to repay karma that fills out the details, pariparaka karma, inherited from the past lives. It is called born of retribution and vipakaja rather than simply retribution, vipaka, because it is intermittent. That is, the above retribution and born of retribution are called result of retribution, because the result differs from the cause. Here, only the consciousness that harbors self-attachment, holds the impure seeds, and transforms the results is called retribution. This does not mean that all forms of consciousness are retribution.